Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palettes. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. And with me today from the Pastani Studio is John McTavish. How you doing, John?
Good man. We're doing a twofer and we are taking it back to a more civilized time tonight, which is
That's
kind of
right.
exciting for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we are talking about the MBombay Kesara Toro. It's more of a Toro Extra 6.5 inch by 54. Comes out of the Tobaccos de Costa Rica factory in Costa Rica. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Connecticut Desflorado 2002. Binder is Ecuadorian Havana. Filler is Dominican Republic and Peru. It was blended by Mel Shaw. Price point is $20, and the cigar was released originally in September of 2014. So with all that out of the way, John, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
Well, so now you say there's Peruvian tobacco in there and it's Desfilado wrapper. It's all making sense to me now. We'll talk about that in the wrap up, but I think it had a really nice start to it. Really restrained, creamy mild tobacco and wood. Kind of a woody finish, but not super heavy on the palate. There was some spices in the retrohale, but they kind of started at light, moved up to medium minus, but then they kind of came back down. So like I don't think it was super intense on the palate. And then some bread kind of came in and kind of I think took the forefront of the retrohale. So it was a really nice start. For me, it started out the same in the second third. So creamy bread and baking spices, mildly dry cedar. Like and this is something you got to know about MOB is like he intentionally has cedar in there, and it's a really nice, rich wood flavor. It's not like a dry, distracting sort of general wood flavor, and I like that. But I think for me, it wasn't as complex in the second third as it was in the first third. It was very, very pleasant and enjoyable. But I didn't get a lot of transitioning sort of for the rest of the second third. So, the whole profile is just kind of being carried by light creamy bread and baking spices with some mild cedar. So very pleasant, but not particularly dynamic. Last third kind of brought some tannins with it. So tannic wood kind of ramped up to medium right out of the gate, which was a bit of a shocker considering the whole cigar at that point had been kind of in the light plus category. And then there was earth in the post draw. And at the halfway point, wood was kind of the primary flavor. So again, not unpleasant, just not particularly dynamic. Construction was pretty good. Burn was straight through the whole process, but I did have the draw came out at 60 inches of water, so a little snug, which is kind of a drag in a cigar this size.
Yeah.
I don't know that it took anything away from the experience, but you hate to see that. Anyways, I'd say above average for me. What about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with a slightly dry aged cedar, earth, and mild black pepper. Got some sandalwood that joined in quickly and some creaminess after that. Later, a perfume note joined in and the black pepper increased. Second third saw the earth increase and the black pepper mellow, and then later the perfume note departed and the creaminess and pepper increased. Final third saw the creaminess mellow and the overall profile started to become a bit dry at that point. Then the black pepper mellowed a bit and kind of later ramped up to right behind the cedar and the sandalwood. I think we're in similar boats. It had a nice start, had a fair number of flavor components and transitions going on at the start, but kind of dropped a level in that second third. Some of the components started to mellow and dropped out, and just kind of maintained that level the rest of the way. So I was really hoping for a longer experience with that first third. That combination of flavors was working pretty well for me, so I liked it. But pricing is a bit high. So I don't think it's something I'd come back to frequently, but like you were talking about earlier, like the wood delivery here, sandalwoods,
Yeah.
aged cedar, all that kind of stuff. That's you just don't get that in a lot of cigars. So when you're looking for that, like this is kind of one of the places to come for that. So there's a niche for this cigar and this brand. So it's nice to see. All right, getting to the score, we're going to start at the top with me at 5.95. John gave it a 5.8. My 5.95 matched up well above average flavor profile. Really good construction. I just want to double check. I think, yeah, I was a little tighter on the draw
Yeah.
than
There you
I
go.
prefer. So yeah, not quite as tight as yours. My own meter, I think, did it at 47 inches of
Oh,
water. I
okay.
think is where I was
40
at.
inches, 47
Yeah,
inches of water.
yeah. So
All right.
that's kind of where I was at. So all right, John, 5.8.
Doing that Nicaraguan water meter. Yeah, that matches up well. I mean, I think we're kind of at the same point. I think we basically had the same experience. So like, it's kind of somewhere between a 5.75 and a 6. Um, and like you said, I mean, normally something below a 6 is not something I'd return to, but there's sort of a romance to that woody component here that you just don't get in other cigars. Now, I guess getting into it, and I know you've brought this up many times. That Desflorado wrapper, it's such a tough wrapper.
Hmm.
I think it has worked with some brands, but I think it's one of those wrappers that's really, really tough to sort of make it shine.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, sometimes it could just be overpowered by the rest of the blend. Or sometimes if you just kind of go really light, then maybe the balance just isn't there for it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree with you.
And I think because we've seen this Peruvian tobacco, especially from cigars coming out of Costa Rica, and I think it can work. But I think Peruvian, in my limited experience, Peru tends to work better in a stronger blend. If you put it in a lighter blend, I think it brings some dryness with it, and it doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
So some of the blends we've had that are kind of in the medium category with Peruvian are really good. But I
Yep.
think when you dial it back, I don't think it works. But you know, I'd probably buy this again.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would. It's not going to be a regular cigar I'm smoking all the time, but like it's pretty. Not all the blends that MBombay offers, but a lot of the blends have this kind of wood-driven profile, and
Yeah,
it's
sandalwood is a
not
good
yeah, and
good
it's not
descriptor. Yeah.
it's not the common woods that you will
No.
it's not gonna be toasted oak or toasted cedar kind of a thing. It's more of
Yeah.
an aged cedar sandalwood kind of thing, and I think I want to say a lot of the early stuff from like Atabay and things like that
Right.
had that as
That's
well. I mean, they
that's what I was gonna
come out of
say.
the same factory, so
Yeah.
but I feel like the more recent cigars from Selected Tobacco have kind of lost that.
I
I
think
know
they've
that,
moved. I mean, I think they moved away from it because I mean, it takes time, right? Like it
yeah,
takes months and months and months, and
yeah,
unfortunately, time is money in this industry.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's an identity here for this brand for, like I said, not every line, but there's specific lines where that's kind of the identity, and I dig it. Especially if it could go even longer in the profile, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just want that. Um, I don't know. It's I,
It's not something you're gonna get in anything else, and there's something to be said
yeah,
about that, right?
and it's almost. I hate to say it, it's almost as close to Cuban maybe as you can get, kind of a
Right.
thing. There's some of the older Cuban stuff that if you ever get a chance to smoke something like that, like there's a lot of similarities between these types of cigars. So,
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to get close to it if you want. So, all right, wherever you catch this video, be sure to like and subscribe, but check out the full written review on the website, developingpalace.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, Sarah, Sarah.